All right, everybody, it is now 5:30, so it is time for me to start talking. Oh my goodness. Today was a really interesting day for those coming on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now you can hear me at my full volume. You know, I did those live stream. I just want to tell you for those coming on, welcome, welcome. I would encourage you to, say something in the chat so that you hear, although you don't have to. But it was so interesting that I did that, and I probably would not have the courage to do 3 live streams, in public at DMAC. And I was at DMAC doing those live streams, if you couldn't tell by the surrounding. And it kind of makes me uncomfortable. But if I was uncomfortable, I would not do that. And so, for those who saw all those live streams, or maybe you didn't see all those live streams, if you did, I would kind of be surprised, although not very. I don't require you to see all those live streams. I would suggest to you seeing that first live stream. So the first one that I did, for just, what is it called? It is called A Menton Meeting 1, January 26th, 2023. I would definitely say that one because I go into some announcements in that one. I do want to make this live stream shorter because, I did not make those other live streams, for nothing. Um, my volume is sort of hushed and it was sort of low, of course, because I was in public and it was perfectly natural to be that way. So you may have to turn the volume up. And it may be distracting. It's not the best thing in the whole wide world, but I'm not expecting perfection out of myself. The second one that I did today, which should have been my final one, but I kind of cheated a little bit and did a 7-minute one. My second one is called Another Day with Jesse Bonstetter. That was before I went into composition, and I was giving that introduction. And you may find it a little annoying when I put the phone, I sort of hide the phone. I was doing that because other people were coming, and I do not want them to think anything weird about me. And I am the only person who will say those words. Nobody else should say them. Otherwise, guess what? No. So that's all I'm going to say. So I did the live stream. I put my phone down. I sort of, when someone was coming, I stopped talking and then I continued speaking. And I almost feel guilty and uncomfortable doing that. I almost feel like I'm crossing boundaries or I shouldn't be doing that, like I'm, forbidden from doing that. But it is Aquarius season, and it is the time to bring out the innovative and brand new ideas that are out of the box and they're totally your own, and to give yourself permission to do whatever you want. Give yourself permission to liberate yourself. And so I'm using the feature mobile live streaming off of YouTube that Maria de Simone, whom is a member of the astrology community here at the Mint, and she has her own YouTube channel. She does live streams off of the phone, mobile live streams in public, like at the beach. So if she can do it at the beach, then I can do it in a building. And I've been doing a little bit of thinking about comparing myself to Maria de Simone. And I'm actually going to encourage you to find resemblances between her and I. A couple resemblances is we both have our Mercury's in Taurus, and remember that Mercury is the planet of how you speak and how you communicate and how you teach as well. And it's in Taurus. And so we're very, sort of solid, one foot in front of the other, really practical and really fixed upon what we're saying and maybe fixed upon our views and really to the point with our words. And then we also have Saturn in Cancer. So I have Saturn in Cancer. She has Saturn in Cancer. this could mean that I am trying to master nurturing other people, finding solace in my, you know, the area of my life related to home and family, and establishing a family that is nurturing. Saturn's going to move into Pisces, and Pisces trines Cancer. And so, it is going to, sort of tie into those things. And Saturn in Cancer deals with, the symbolism of the wall. If you've ever heard the song Walls by Barbra Streisand, I think the fact that I did a live stream on build bridges instead of walls is profound. And I want to make that resemblance, sort of self-resemblance between that, and I want to bridge that toward the fact that I have Saturn in Cancer and I'm the one voicing it. So it deals with the walls, because Saturn is boundaries and Cancer is feminine, and feminine as signs are about receiving, using your intuition, feeling your feelings, riding those emotional waves, taking care of others, establishing a sense of home within yourself. And so it may be difficult for me to receive help or emotional connection, or attention. And I also think in general we just speak similarly, and we're sort of on a similar intellectual wavelength. And I have, all of the features that she has. Well, most of them, except for the monetization, of course. There's always something else that I do not have, and there's things that I have that she does not have. So we can talk about comparisonitis, we can talk about gratitude, we can talk about life being unfair and me having less than she does, and she having less than I do. And we can get into that too. And especially I wish that I was living with her and experiencing my life last winter when I had that job at True Value here in town, when I rinsed and repeat, sweeping, dusting, cleaning, all this kind of things. I wish I knew her, connected with her in that way last year. Um, really. So, she is really, I will say, that she is, somebody who is really, strong, in her, beliefs and values. And she is somebody who is sort of somebody who can help a lot of people reach the North Node in Taurus. She is a Taurus herself. And I do want you to find the connection between how I talk, what I say, and who she says. And in terms of what I put on my channel, I made a vow that I would be free in 2023, because free in 2023 rhyme. And people should be free when it comes to posting content on their channels. People shouldn't be restricted. I shouldn't be restricted. And so, you do have to take what people say with a grain of salt when they insult you, or when they, hurt your, feelings, or doing that. But, you're understanding that this is what they're putting out. And there are people who like it and people who dislike it. And this is what, people want it put out. This is their work. This is their passion. This is what they value. This is something meaningful and important to them. And so, no, I don't, agree with, just sort of, oh, you're on YouTube to, grow an audience and please people and do all this kind of things. Like, no, that's not how I view it. Like, these people, these YouTube, people who give advice on, growing content, growing your watch hour time, are like, oh, well, it's about growing an audience. It's about getting, all this kind of things and impressing people, drawing people to you. Well, I feel that way, but it's only like 10-ish%. It would not be that way at all had I would have all the features. Because a number is a number. I'm just interested in getting the features. And so that, the features that I want. And for me, it's about expressing myself and putting out what I want to put out and, sharing something with people. And it was sort of baited doing videos for a legitimate purpose where it's, it's real, it's out there and I'm being brave and I am expressing myself. And it's not about, what other people, think and want. And so you cannot let other people run your life, when it comes to just being online and you're not seeing them, you're not engaging with them. And, yeah. So, because it's no secret and I don't want to gossip, but she was sharing a story about, how she got a comment that she didn't like because of some videos that she was sharing. And, yeah. And, I think that it's a deep honor for it. Like I got a comment one time saying, I love your work. I was like, wow, that is a deep honor because I don't consider it work. Like define work. I mean, I'm not a professional astrologer. I'm not, that kind of person. So, yeah, anyway. And so, but I'm sort of going off the beaten path here. What I did want to talk to you about, and so, I did several live streams. I'm not going to talk about, sociology. There was nothing there that I can talk about at all. I have just enjoyed the class, and, he's a really good teacher. He, has said several times that he is a nerd. And so, yeah, he's, really good teacher, very, sociable, tells, jokes, and yeah, so many wonderful things. Now I do want to, reiterate something here. That, and for those who got the email about information for joining choir, just type, just type yes in the chat if you got that email, or just for anyone who received that email. Well, actually, I'm going to be blunt and direct. You should have received it because I believe, Daniel emailed me saying he did send it all to you. So, you should have received it in your email. For those who didn't check it, it is there. And so, yeah. So, I notice that there is sort of an issue with, I'm going to use his name. This is not Jessup who we're talking about. Paul Hort is his name. And for anyone teaching music, which is a great expressor and expressor, how you can really express yourself with feeling and emotion, all this kind of thing. What? What? Well, can we wait?
It's the first time I have dinner early, and no one wants to eat.
Well, how about like 6, maybe? So, anyway, now without going into too much detail, I was mentioning about boundaries just a second ago. And, you know, this is where I am probably overstepping a little bit. So, I have said this multiple times and I mean it. I mean, I was not put on this earth to do this. I will say that. And the only reason why I'm going to continue to do this is because I want to. If people were pressuring me, if people demanded it, and if I felt like I had to and I didn't want to, I would not do it, even if it was the most important thing in the world, because that would not be authentic to me. I just want you to know that the only reason why I did that was because I wanted to continue doing this. And, I really don't want you to say anything like, you should have, done this or that. I mean, first of all, I want to be honest, okay? I just want to be honest. This is one of the things where you might disagree with what I'm saying. But it is not your place to type in the chat and say, you should have done that, and you should have got up and done the things. Or you should not have, even better yet, you should not have done live streams in public places. And, like, I was perfectly aware of what I was doing. I was liberating myself. I knew what I was doing and I wanted to do it, and I felt the inspiration and I did it. And I will not have anyone questioning me about if I know right from wrong, or if I know what I'm doing, if I know what I'm saying, because I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm saying, and I mean that. And it gets to me one of my pet peeves, and it gets to be really frustrating and annoying and irritating when people bug me and give me a hard time about what I say and what I do. So that's what I want to say. I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but that is the truth. And I just want to tell you that. Okay? One of my pet peeves is when people lecture me, and I mean lecture me, about what I already know. That is one of my pet peeves, and I will not have that. Nobody will tell me that I should be grateful or appreciative, save for, the obvious, people. If you're outside of my family, and if you're, who you are, or Susan, Linda, or, Daniel, don't tell me to be, you should be grateful or appreciative. Don't tell me. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I have heard that so many times. And it's really bothersome, and it's an annoyance to me when people, tell me that. Because I have spoken about it. I mean, do I sound like a dumb, dull individual? Do I sound like a, fool, or, someone who doesn't embody those things? I mean, I am, I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty good for my age. And, I'm not going to go on that rant. I'm not. But I just wanted to say that. So, this teacher that I have for music fundamentals, picture, that I'm releasing the bird from my hands, which is him. He is the bird. And the bird's flying fine, except it was meant to fly at a certain target and reach a certain direction. But instead, what happened was the bird is flying all around and going in different directions, getting back on track, going in different directions. This means that the class is losing its importance, where I'm trying to learn the material and, the music, and trying to grasp the concepts and understand. But then you talk about sexism, then you talk about racism, then you talk about coffee and drinking tea instead of eating lunch. Then you talk about how you feel about the younger generation. Then you talk about your, wife and the gas situation. Then you talk about your, eating and Indian food, like so many different things. It's almost like you can talk about anything else, but do not talk about music fundamentals. I would say that, as a teacher, you kind of need to, you're there to teach, and I'm not here to sit here and have you, go on about these random things. I'm here to learn. I'm only there this many days a week. And if I'm just sitting in the room and get nothing out of it, just because that's the amount of time, and just because people pipe up and get him distracted, and he gets himself distracted, he spiels, gives spiels, and it's almost like there's a pattern between, okay, you're on topic, and then you get off topic again, and I'm just sitting there waiting for you to get off topic again, and then I'm sitting there waiting for you to get back on topic again. So that bird was actually meant to go in a direction. The mother communicated to the bird, okay, you need to go over there. But instead the bird's like, oh no, I want to go over here. And it's not as valuable and important as the bird. The bird's not focusing and going that direction. Instead, oh, why didn't I just go over here? And you get back on track. So that's what the bird's doing. And I never expected to sit here and say that about the class, the teacher. I was expecting that it would be, worried if it would be confusing, or if I wouldn't get it. I don't get it. I'm struggling right now. I'm not getting what I want to out of the class, and I'm not caught up. But I never imagined that it would be, the teacher getting distracted, and then one student having to pull him back on topic and get him back in sort of the direction that he needs to go in. And this is kind of an issue if you're thinking about people paying and registering and signing up to learn, and you are going off and talking about other stuff and getting into history and philosophy. Like, no, I'm not here for that. I'm here to learn what I need to learn, what I've signed up to learn. So yeah, I have to get real. I like when he goes off topic and talks about this kind of stories, but let's get real. I'm not here for that, and I didn't sign up for my time to be wasted and to, sit down and have to just sit in disbelief that we're getting off topic. And so yeah, I do have a feeling that I am going to get into a little of this, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to come back later, and then I'm going to get into the second half of what I'm going to talk about, what I wanted to talk about originally on this live stream. So I have some bullet points that I made as I was sitting there and experiencing what I was experiencing. And I sort of wrote down things that I was feeling and thinking about. And I am going to share those things with you. But I think, considering all these bullet points, it's going to be another issue and a whole nother can of worms to get into. And now that you have met him and know his personality and know what he is like, you will, hopefully have a better sense of, okay, this is how this person is, and you can understand, sort of where I'm coming from, kind of the same things as last time. It wasn't, so yeah, I feel like the more these classes go, maybe the less eventful they become. But I don't know. So those will sort of be like a journal or a diary for I'm giving you what happened that particular day. So that's what's going on. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I will be coming back at 7:25. I'm gonna say, or yeah, maybe 7:30. 7:30. I'll do that. I'll come back and I'll get into what I wanted to talk about originally on this live stream. So, bye for now. Have a good dinner. See you later.